stories that move mountains.
Truth that breaks chains.
This isn't just a podcast, this is a movement. Welcome to the Testimony Godcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Testimony Godcast. Last week we learned about having your foundation built on rock compared to sand. This week's title is Spiritual Fulfillment, and this is huge. I gotta be honest with you guys. So I would say 10 minutes ago, before even filming this, today's lesson was obligation and duty, and I had all notes for it, and it was thriving, but it just felt off, and I found myself kind of being scattered with it because there's a lot of good notes here, and I didn't know where to start, and it just didn't feel right for today. I don't know. It wasn't clicking. I took like 5 different takes before this one. And finally, I just felt spoken to, like, this isn't the lesson for this time. It's a good one, but it's just not this time. So it came to me, because then I noticed kind of in my notes, there was almost like 2 lessons in one, and the other one was spiritual fulfillment. So that one, it instantly stuck out in that moment. I'm like, I felt spoken to by God, like this is the one for today. So we're going to roll with that. And yeah, there's still a lot of great notes here. I had to go back and add more, and it started flowing, and it felt a whole lot better than the other one. We'll save that for another day. But yeah, spiritual fulfillment is our lesson for this Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well. This one's huge. I honestly have a struggle with this myself sometimes, and yes, I'm admitting that on camera, but we got to be raw with each other, right? We got to be open about these things that we lack with, or that we're not owning up to, that bother us and everything else. So yeah, this one has been tough for me, and it's been a process, and I have been getting better with it, but there's some times where I just don't understand it. And as I go through this, hopefully this will help me, and I really hope overall the whole point of this is it helps you guys. Yes, spiritual fulfillment. And what I want to say about it is, when you're lacking, spiritually, you feel that internally, right? And if you don't know and you're watching this and you're like, man, I've been doing everything, thriving in everything, I got it all, and I still feel like I have nothing. This is what I'm talking about. So I have had battles with this, and sometimes it tries to creep back, and you know how it goes. But yeah, it's tough, because God has gifted us a lot. He gifted myself a lot, and sometimes I still find myself looking for something new, something fun to do. I think when you find yourself in that trap of I gotta do this, I gotta have this, this person has to be in my life, just really anything. I'm just giving examples. It goes back to this, because let's say God gave you all that. He gave you all those things you just asked for right there. But with Him, you're still internally lacking. You're not having your obligation and duty. That's how these kind of were going to connect. But it wasn't flowing. This definitely feels better. Your house is on sand. You're not doing your duty for Him. The obligation ain't there. The desire ain't there. The relationship isn't there. But He still sat there. Man, I'm like getting emotional. This is real today. It is flowing. Wow. Let's keep it real. But you're still left wondering what's wrong, and it's just this is what's wrong, guys. Um, his hand is out for you 24/7, and if you just want to keep focusing on the shiny prizes and think you're doing enough with him, which he loves you regardless, and he will provide and provide anything you ask for. If that hole is still there at the end of the day, you really got to ask yourself why. And I really want to go over a story today. And this one's pretty real, but obviously everyone knows Tom Brady, correct? You know, he had a for the longest time there, he had a great marriage. He does have a perfect family. Um Very successful millionaire, football like Hall of Famer, star, greatest quarterback ever. Seriously, probably the whole world knows that guy's name, right? And there's an interview you could actually, you know, look this up for yourself. There's an interview with him. I don't know who does it or anything really about it, but there's an interview with him that goes over how's he feel after all that. Multiple Super Bowls, everything like a child could actually ask for. Anyone in this world could ask for, let alone like a kid growing up that plays the sport, right? He said at the end of the day, after all that, he still felt a hole and he has no clue why. So that is the weight of this. That is the weight of being spiritually not fulfilled, and you have no clue. I mean, he was gifted the craziest lifestyle, like, completely almost perfect, right? On paper, you would say that. You would think that looking at that guy, there's no way he doesn't think he's lacking anything, right? But going into it spiritually means so much more than the billions of dollars, the fame, uh, all the championships. At the end of the day, if you're lacking here where it matters, it's going to be the greatest toll on you. Having this lifestyle, coming off of that story, having spiritual fulfillment filled to the max, you could seriously live in a box with $5 in your account, um, rubbing pennies together to eat, once a day. But if you were fulfilled spiritually, you would feel like you had probably even more than the Tom Brady lifestyle. And see, he's even lacking, so I would say that you would feel like you had more than him. And like I said, I do fall in this trap myself sometimes. I chase after like the new fun, um, some shiny things and everything. I'm guilty of it, and sometimes I feel like it takes over a little bit. Like there might be a void that starts to appear, and I jump on the next best thing, and I'm not really thinking it's a spiritual thing, and then it grows, and then it's like, uh-oh, like this is why I feel this way, because I did get what I wanted and this is still lacking. What is wrong with me? This is what's wrong, guys. You got to have that relationship with him. His hand is out for you 24/7, and get get your spiritual life filled first before anything else you get involved in. And that was another thing I did have wrote down here. It was where is it? I'm sorry, I got so much here at this point. But it was just saying that I thought it was like right here. What is this? You can laugh at me, quote me if I'm wrong. I'm probably going to butcher this, but in Ecclesiastes, Sounds close to me. Um, 8 and 9, it just kind of explains that. Actually, I think I have it right here. Give me a second. Um, yeah, overall, not to waste any of your guys' time, but it's just talking about like you can have fun and everything, and there's nothing wrong with it, with enjoying the life you have here, but at the same time, don't let that overtake you to the point where you have no relationship with God, you have no clue who He is. Um, it ends up just turning your life upside down. Just be careful with how much you're involved in, and if you do feel a hole inside of you and you're doing 50 things a day and you got $1 million in your account like we were talking about and everything's perfect, but you're still feeling that way, give this a shot, and i'll bet I'll bet $1 million that I don't have that this will work. uh let's see what else. So I got emotional there for a second, so gotta lock back in here. So, yes, scripture does warn us trying to fill spiritual voids leads to a never ending thirst, leaving you spiritually dry, kind of like going and drinking from a cracked well. Like I said, we could chase as much as we want, we can get as much as we want, but we're drinking from a dry well at the end of the day. So, you're still going to be thirsty, is what it's saying, no matter what you do. Um, what do we got here? I'm going to actually read scripture for you. What do you say? So we got 3:11 in Ecclesiastes. I got to say it slow because I will butcher it. I'll talk too fast. I'll probably not even say half of that word. So excuse me ahead of time. 3:11. Let's see here. I have this written down. So 3:11 says, there we go. Yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. So I conclude there is nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. People should eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of their labor, for these are gifts from God. And that's honestly what I was already getting at, is you can enjoy life. There's nothing wrong. God doesn't tell you to hate this earth entirely and live miserably and die in the end. Like right there, it does say like you can enjoy life, like you can have fun, like everything's here because of Him. Enjoy it while you can. And I was just saying, end up letting it. Don't get wrapped in it too much to kind of like where the attack forms, to where it overtakes you and it becomes a mass to this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, I'm doing all this stuff. Because then that's where it leads into there's a spiritual void now because you're not doing this stuff, you know, that creates a void almost automatically. And if you're chasing and still filling the hole, this is why. This is why. What else did I want to hit on? Guys, I'm sorry. Like, if today's episode seems a little spacey, my notes are I got so many notes here. I have 2 lessons on one page. I just wanted to really hit a lot today and get a message home to you guys. Okay, so I did the void story. Yeah, Scripture warns us. 3:11. Let's look at this. One last thing, guys. What do I have? 18. What is this? I'm going to actually, let me think. What is this? Give me a second. Okay, that's notes for the other episode. So, sorry about the rocky ending. That's my bad. But in closing, guys, spiritual fulfillment, 100%. If you're feeling like there's a hole inside of you, and no matter what you do, it can't be taken away, and everything the enemy tries to tell you to do doesn't help. You know, he pushes alcohol on you. You drink till blackout. You think it feels good for the hour or so, whatever it takes until it wears off. Wake up. Now you're thrown up and the void's back. You think if you had $1,000,000, you'll have everything you can imagine: the house, the cars, the family, the fame, just like the Tom Brady story. But at the end of the day, you lay down at night and go to bed, and it still feels like you only got $2. You're spiritually lacking. If you're constantly running after stuff that's fun, more than biblically speaking, if you're doing 20 fun things a day or constantly on the run and you have no time to even get out a word of communication to anybody, and then you finally wrap that day up and feels like you did nothing at all, ask yourself why. Like I said earlier, I'm guilty of this. And like my wife left today to go to dinner with her family, and I had a moment that hit me that was like, some of these lessons I give you guys are actually things I had problems with. And I go into these lessons and I'll get flowing and the spirit's running in me, and I'll write down a whole page and I'll do the episode, and at the end of it I'm like, and I learned so much from that. Like, that feels like something even I needed to hear, and I'm the guy that's trying to just help you guys. So me saying that's just really like, I might be the guy on camera here and it might look like I know it all with this stuff. I truly don't. I'm Sometimes I'm there learning with you guys, and we can all be better, and we can all learn something new and get healed in ways we could never imagine. And overall, I just want the best for you guys. And I just, please, if you are struggling with voids, because I know how the enemy can twist and bend it, please get spiritual fulfilled. Uh, just have a conversation with him. Create a relationship. There's nothing wrong with it. Read, start reading the Bible once a day. Anything to just get you on the horse and get moving, and just watch the change. Seriously, that's the challenge for this week. If this is something you're struggling with, or if maybe you don't really know, try it, and then next week in the comments, or even as this week goes on, mention it. How much, after watching this, how much changed, and this is what you were actually lacking, and I would love to hear it. And if we do get any, I'll mention it next episode. But seriously, guys, this is a big one. This one really hit. It even got me today. I had to take a break. I don't want to cry on camera. It's embarrassing. No, but honestly, thanks for tuning in today. Have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. We'll have another great lesson lined up for you. Just make sure you're filling your void with the correct things, and watch the change the Lord brings to your life. Have a good one.